I'm the rap game's financial advisor. Dropping beats that'll make you go higher. I got it 808s with metal undertones. Gonna school you about crypto, make you take loans. Stacking stacks, yeah, that's the goal. Invest in the crypto, watch it all unfold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, more. I'm diversifying portfolios like never before. Cryptocurrency got the game in a frenzy. Financial literacy, that's the key thing. I'm spitting knowledge, making moves that count. Turning straight stacks into millions, no doubt.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again for another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. Hope you guys made it through Bag Fortification Friday. Hope there were no bags fumbled over the weekend. I hope we are still staying laser focused on the task at hand, which is freeing ourselves from the financial matrix as the walls are closing in and the world is burning. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the show on the platform, Delta Investment Tracker app. If you have not given that a try, tap in down in the description of the video. There's a bunch of value in the links down there, but specifically there is one to let the team over at Delta know that you found them via your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero. And here we are. It is Sunday, June 16th. Rolling in a very tumultuous, the market's been going sideways. We get little glimmers of it going up. People are basically selling off at 70,000 because they think that that's the peak. The conversations I'm having offline, people think it's over. People are exhausted. People don't understand how money works or how investment works, it seems. I don't know. Or they've rode it, and they're wanting to cash out to go buy things, which makes no sense to me because that's not how my brain functions and that's not how I handle my personal finances. So it doesn't compute for me, but it does compute for them. And the only thing that I have to say is people are going to do what's right for their situation, and every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So there's going to be consequences. That's not to scare people to stay in the market. It's not to scare people out of the market. It's really a matter of, should you be here? Does this fit your narrative? Do you believe in what you're doing? Is it producing results for you? Now, I listen to other content creators, and especially in the crypto space, I'll always tap in for a little bit to figure out whether what's being said is something that aligns or doesn't align, or at least, know what's going on. Because all of us sitting out here giving our opinions on the cryptocurrency space, giving our 2 cents into the ether about what's going on, leading our varying size tribes, if you would, having the conversation. And it seems like there's 2 camps, and it's a really weird 2 camps. There's the camp of people that live in reality of this is a competition, this is a wealth transfer. People are going to do what they have done historically. And then there's a camp of people who want to live in la la land of we're all supposed to get along, and Bitcoin was made specifically for a specific group of people. And even though the field has been leveled, the playing field has been as level as it's ever been, now we're supposed to feel bad about the decisions of others. And I fall into the latter camp. I don't feel bad that people who come in, take my content in, go about their merry way, and don't act on the things that I say are going to face the consequences of that. They're on the wrong side. There's always been peasants. There have. Historically, there's no time where we were all kumbaya. It was always somebody taking somebody else's stuff, people making decisions that benefited them more so than the people who didn't make those same decisions. And I'm not going to sit here and feel bad when I come here every week, drop gems every week, give the game every week on everything that I'm doing, not just the crypto stuff, the traditional portfolio stuff too. You guys get a monthly update about that, future financial strategies. How am I getting the additional funds to make these moves? How am I setting myself up so that I can maximize my cash flow towards investments and then use the cash flow generated from the investments to pay for the things, to flex, to do all that stuff? So no, I'm not going to feel bad for the people that just sit there on their hands and watch all of this pass by. I'm also not going to be upset that institutions who their whole job is to be relevant and at the top of the hierarchy period are realizing that this isn't going away and like this is what it is. The field has been leveled. The people who choose not to act are going to be priced out. They are going to be a peasant class. They are going to rent forever. They are going to forever have their fate at the behest of someone else who made some different decisions than what they did. I'm not going to feel bad personally about their lack of ability to act or their willful ignorance to not be aware of what's going on. They want to sit around. They want to sit around and argue about people on panels and the words that they said that made them offended. The petrodollar's over. You're poor. But that's what they want to do. They want to get online. They want to do that. They don't want to come over here and listen. They want to do it in passing. They want to tell me I'm elitist when I talk down to them. Well, it's not necessarily even talking down. I'm just telling you, like, you are going to be poor forever. The situation that you are in is going to be permanent. The hole in the sky is closing. The lifeboats on the Titanic are all getting filled, and you're choosing not to be on them. And those are personal choices. Over here in the wolf pack, the 10 of us, we're not making that choice. It's literally turning into a financial Noah's Ark scenario here. The people who are getting the message, are making the preparation, are pivoting and realizing what's going on and making the necessary adjustments to make sure that their ship is shored up. They're not out here arguing and worrying about what everybody else is doing. They're making sure their situation's good. They're making sure the people that are around them at least know. I can give you the game all day. I'm not going to make you do it. I'm not going to feel bad if you don't. Like, this is just me documenting my journey and helping those who I can along the way. I don't care about the people who choose not to. They're just going to be poor and away from me. Good. The concept that this is not a competition is ridiculous. There's a reason that none of us even me, I don't give away my liquidity farms. It's competition. I can lead you to the water, but you got to go drink it yourself. You got to go do some research. You got to go put in the effort. But I tell you how I set the plays up. I teach you how to hunt. I teach you how to fish. I bring you to the water. You got to drink it and build your own positions. It's not my responsibility to tell you about my farms. Most of these dudes don't even show their portfolios. They don't even show their positions. But that's a conversation we don't want to get into because everybody wants to just be, I just tell the news. I just tell this. I just give my opinions. You're giving your opinions without actually showing anything on the back end. And then they just throw their stuff out and walk away. Their money's not involved in it. I mean, as far as we know, they just talk. No portfolios, no receipts, no nothing. Over on my other channel, now that I'm in the dividend space and we're doing dividend portfolios to protect our crypto investments so that we don't have to sell them off to buy stuff. We went and made an income source to buy stuff. And people will tap in on those comments because I leave comments on videos, not necessarily the crypto ones, because the crypto market, it's what it is. You either find your way over here, or you don't. I don't care. I've been doing this for a decade. Have I been talking about it for a decade? No, I kept my mouth shut till I knew what the fuck I was talking about. I don't see where that's something that you hold against people unless you make your money or you live on YouTube. I mean, maybe it's a good idea to not open your mouth till you know something. It's also a possibility. I mean, it's one of those things. But I've been in this market actively for 10 years. 10 years. I've done my 10,000 hours of research. There's plenty of other content creators who have been making content for 10 years that based on their content, you can tell that they're not on chain. They're not active in these markets beyond a certain point, which is limited. And they have opinions. And that's cool. That's cool. They also have large followings, you know, like they out here saying what they need to say for the algorithm. It's cool. When you have large followings, you don't get to tell the truth, apparently. I don't know, because I don't make my money here, and I'm not trying to make my money here. I do appreciate those of you who support, though. Definitely appreciate that. Shout outs to my OG mod squad, Natasha Vincent. Shout out to Beak, who is a consistent supporter of the show. I like consistent. It's great. But yeah, I mean, I'm making the content. I'm going based off the moves that I'm making. I talk about the coins that I have. I don't really weigh too many opinions unless they're blatant. Like, I have opinions on meme coins. I think that is degenerate gambling for people that are desperate and poor. It's the truth. The only people that are really going in on there because you see them crying in their cars on TikTok at the end of the bull run. Because they put everything in it and then they didn't get it out because they got rich for 10 minutes and didn't know what to do with the money because they're poor. And then they went back to being poor. Like, it's a cycle. Like, if you don't know how stuff works, if you don't have a plan, crypto will eat you up and spit you out. Crypto is the Vegas of finance. The Vegas. But for those who stick around, you know, you're going to take some bumps. You don't get in this industry and not lose money. You don't get into investing, period, and not lose money. It's just not how that works. But for those who have a plan, those who are trying to shore up the ships and understand what this is, and understand that every time you want to go to Starbucks, you don't sell a piece of your house to get Starbucks. I mean, granted, at this point, with the way the finances are in America, I can only speak from the area that I'm in. I don't speak on other countries, unlike some of you who are not Americans, but love to speak about everything America. I can only speak about here. And I mean, at this point, some of you are selling parts of your house to go buy Starbucks, to keep up appearances, to do whatever it is to get the short-term benefit that you're getting from looking like you're doing something and actually doing nothing and being up to your eyeballs in debt, about to lose everything, 1 bad week, 2 bad weeks away from homelessness. There's no, I don't got anything for you unless you're ready to come around, join the wolf pack and get your life right. Like, I got nothing for you. And over here in the wolf pack, we are not worried about what the sheep are doing. We're focused on what we're doing. We're focused on our strategy. We're focused on navigating this tumultuous financial hellscape that we found ourselves in to the best of our abilities and ending up at minimum towards the top. Aim towards the top and fail at getting towards the top. You'll probably be in a better situation than a peasant. We're trying to not be at the bottom. We're trying to still have options. We're trying to still have freedom of mobility, freedom of location, freedom of where we live, ability to afford where we live. How about that? Ability to afford groceries. Everything's more expensive. Some of y'all are on diets right now that didn't want to be. You got forced into a diet because you just can't afford to eat what you want. It's understandable. Stuff's expensive. But nuking your financial future to be appreciative now, to be feeling like you're doing something now to impress a bunch of people that aren't going to be around when you're broke now, just doesn't seem like a solid plan to me. So we're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep stepping over these fallen bodies of those who don't get the message. And we're going to leave them there. We're not picking them up. We are not picking them up. I repeat, we are not picking them up. We are in a phase where we are going to be selfish, and we will be selfless on the back end after we have secured our oxygen mask, because at this rate, the rate that things are going, everybody going to be dead before the plane hits the ground. And we're not trying to be a part of that. We're not trying to be a part of that. Things are moving rapidly. And the decisions that we are making right now are affecting you a year from now. They are going to affect you 5 years from now. They are most definitely going to have a major impact 10 years from now. And that's the reason I make this content. That's the reason I document my journey. That's the reason I give you everything that I'm doing. Spread out through my platforms. It's spread out. It's not just one video stream. There's a couple of playlists in there. There's future financial strategies. There's crypto portfolio updates. And within there, you've got basically everything that I'm doing. You get the traditional portfolio update over on future financial strategies. That's over there. You've got crypto portfolio updates, all things crypto over here. Strategies that we're doing within the crypto space. Game's there for those of you who want it. I mean, working pretty good for me so far. Not saying I ain't rich yet, but we getting there. I'm doing it in steps. We've got goals and we're crushing through them. I track my finances. I'm tracking my net worth over on Future Financial Strategies. We're doing a breakdown of that. Who else is doing that? Is your favorite crypto guru doing that? No. Are they even showing you their positions? No. Are they showing you their portfolios on the traditional side? No. Everyone's talking with no receipts. And they're lying. They're giving you half truths. Like, they want to be mad and gatekeep about anyone who disagrees with them about anything that they say because they live here. They're selling you a product. The person who's not selling you a product, y'all don't want to listen to. Obviously, because it's free. People don't value free. And I understand that. But like, I'm leaving this for relatives down the line. I'm making this for the 10 people that rock with me so that we can keep having the conversation down in the comments. Shout out to the Reply Gang. Shout out to those who tap in to the live streams. Chat Lives Matters. We coming back at the end of it. We coming back. It's coming soon. Now that I got my work schedule sorted back out, now that I'm back working, we're going to sort that. We're coming back. We're going to have the live streams. We're going to have the discussion because I want some of these people to swing through and have the discussion. Agree or disagree. I want to be pontificating with people about how we're winning and the differences therein. It's not about being right. There's a simple right in math. It's what's more efficient and what's more, basically what's more efficient. That's the only conversation that we should be having. If what you're positing does not work anymore or is not working right now, it is not actually a debate. Finance is math. It's just math. And we're talking about getting into things. Everybody's talking about gold. Gold mathematically has not performed during the environment that it was supposed to perform in. Yet we're still having the conversation. Peter Schiff will just not crawl back under his rock. His fund is doing awfully. Look it up. It's not performing well. It's not performing as well as Bitcoin. In the last 15 years. 15 years of being wrong, y'all still listening to these people. Dave Ramsey telling you to not have any debt when that man knows full damn well, because he's rich and has debt, that he uses debt to buy assets. The exact same thing that I'm telling you over on Future Financial Strategies. And that man's telling all of his followers, you got to buy everything cash. And these people will then come over and argue with me with their broke asses about how they're just going to buy a house in cash that keeps going up $100,000 a year that they can't afford, waiting for the prices to crash. Okay, it's not working. I'm getting richer. You are not getting richer. You have a bunch of dollars. Oh, but you have debt. Yeah, I got assets that can cover those debts too, that are growing. And I'm using debt to continue to grow them even faster. But you're sitting there struggling, scraping pennies, paying that cash for everything, going nowhere, running in place, actually running backwards at this point. You're moving forwards, but the treadmill is still kicking you backwards because inflation is kicking your ass if you're in cash right now. Terrible place to be. Just sitting there with an opinion, broke. Okay. Let's jump into it. I'm sorry for ranting, y'all. It's just when you see stuff going on and everything's on fire, and you see these people talking about, oh, I want these women to act right. Like, bro, you ain't got time to worry about women. You are poor. Like, you need to worry about literally everything else that's in your house. Of course, no one respects you. You're poor and everything's on fire and we are in financial war and you ain't got weapons. You're useless. Yes, that's why there's no respect. Let's keep it moving. Solve for the problem. Start fixing some stuff. Maybe you'll get a little bit of respect. Accomplish something. How about that? Jumping right on into it, we're going to pull up Shout outs to CoinGecko. We're going to pull up, like make me small. We got the background here going. Let's talk about what's going on in the cryptocurrency industry right meow. Actually, while we got this going, we can go down here. Boom. Open that in a new tab. Get that on over there. Get ready. Get it ready for us. Okay. So, first thing we're going to notice, Bitcoin dominance is still sitting at 51.1%, same as it was last time around, which is wild. There's a lot of energy being drained back into Bitcoin. Not going to lie, I've been having some feelings and feeling some type of way about this myself. Like they've drugged this out to the point to now it's almost like, man, pack up shop, put it all in the longs, and just focus on getting that traditional portfolio built back out and do that and just do that. And then see where we end up, you know, take a little bit of that money, throw it into that portfolio and just do the monthly. Cause I'm doing a whole bunch of management right now to not perform as much, not produce as much income as what I'm getting out of my traditional portfolio that I built. Cause I did a good job. I did a pretty good job narrative wise. Ethereum dominance is at 16.9%. Again, energy draining. Gas fees are down to 4 Gwei today. If you got to make some trades, you want to look for when it's down like this. Trades are cheap, couple of bucks, $5 and under, which I understand compared to the L2s is still expensive, but it's way better than 10 to $100, which is what it used to always be. We've seen worse. I've seen $100+ transactions. I've seen $1,000+ transactions on the Ethereum blockchain during a bull run. I tell you what, these are the fees that I like to see. Now, moving on to the top trending coins at time of recording, Sunday, June 16th. At number 1, we've got Andy ETH. At number 2, we have Toncoin. At number 3, we have MAGA. Now, moving over to the top 5 gainers and losers on the day. As we check in here, this is interesting. I'm liking these lists. Like, it's definitely for what's going on in the market right now. It is definitely very sideways. We're creeping up, but it's very sideways motion for a bull run. This is the longest consolidation period we've had in the history of these Bitcoin halvings. The longest consolidation period. It's normally under a month. We are at 85 days, 90 days, something like that. It's crazy. But let's jump into it. At number 1, we have at rank 900, Beefy, BEFE, with a gain of 93.8% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 801, Hoppy, HOPPY, with a gain of 58.8% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 243, Convex Finance, CVX, with a gain of 52.3% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 396, Resistance Dog, REDO, with a gain of 32.5% in the last 24 hours. And at number 5, at rank 264, we have Andy ETH, ANDY, with a gain of 31.6% in the last 24 hours. Moving over to the losers, which I would say healthy pullback, not even a healthy pullback, just a smidge pullback, sideways market pullbacks. Starting off at number 1, rank 675, we have Chompcoin, CHOMP, with a pullback of 16.6% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 694, Railgun, RAIL, with a pullback of 12.7% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 305, brain fart there, Credit Coin, CTC, with a pullback of 11.7% in the last 24 hours. And at number 4, we have at rank 613, Pepe Fork, PORK, with a pullback of 10.6% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, at number 5, we have at rank 400, Bakery Swap, BAKE, with a pullback of 10.2% in the last 24 hours. Now, getting to the meat of things. Go ahead and move it over to this tab. Let's get into the portfolio updates. We can have a conversation about what we were doing, the moves that were made this weekend. But first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and do the breakdown. Just a reminder, we do this every episode. We are Xing Lido staked Ether. We are also Xing out USDC because Lido staked Ether is a position that we are holding specifically in the retirement ledger. So this won't move. We only add to it as we do some of these cash outs. USDC is predominantly half baked into our liquidity pooling positions and doesn't serve any purpose. So we're skipping over all the stable coins and Lido staked Ether, as that's just continually getting added to the ledger and it'll always be number 1. So, and also it wasn't bought as a position for this year's portfolio. It is a result of cash outs in this year's portfolio. So starting with number 1, we have Solana, SOL. Number 2, we have Ethereum, ETH. Number 3, we have Injective, INJ. Number 4, we have Osmosis, OSMO. Number 5, we have Thorwallet, DEX, TGT. Number 6, we have Celestia, TIA. Number 7, we have Camelot Token, GRAIL. Number 8, we have Arbitrum, ARB. Number 5, we have Wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC. And number 10, we have Radium, RAY. Now, getting back into this list, obviously we took some deep hits. I'm telling you, we took some body hits, some headshots. The portfolio definitely, especially in the altcoin space, man. And I'm not even counting Ethereum in the altcoin space at this point because it's holding its own. We've been staying consistently above 3,500, above 3,000. I'm saying everything else brutalized. Like, it's wild, the level of brutality that has happened. My poor Osmosis position done put me back in a position where we're having to get that. Those prices are too good. So that's where all of our funding went. We just went into Osmosis. We're doing on-chain staking with it, but it's gotten down to a point now to where it's given the opportunity for me to drag the initial buy-in to under $1 because we were buying and dollar cost averaging the initial position at above $1. And it's wild because this consolidation period has sapped so many people's confidence in the markets that honestly right now is a freaking great entry point. Like, everything right now, I'm like, dude, I could have not rushed. If I would have known what I know now, I would have built my dividend portfolio with a lot of the flood money that I originally put into this. And then after that portfolio was producing over $1,000 a month, which we're just a hair under over in that portfolio, I would have switched to dollar cost averaging and then, because I would have caught this dip. That's hindsight 2020. I would have done the dividend portfolio to protect this first. Then when I would have got the injury, I would have had plenty of income and not had to have the panic attack that I had. And, you know, we would have been pushing that portfolio at probably, based on what we threw at this initially, we would probably be at about, I'd say probably at least 25,000 in that portfolio right now versus the 15 that it's sitting at right now. I would have had 10,000 extra dollars in there. But that said, now that we've cleared that first credit card, we're doing our financial breather, which in between it's a add-in for the way that I'm doing velocity banking to pay down the float and the debt that we accrued to jumpstart the traditional finance dividend portfolio. But we're paying down some debt. And as we knock out these cards, I'm taking a breather and we're doing a full bore buy-in to our position. So we're definitely, if the prices are still low, we're definitely going to be kicking a little bit of that money over into the crypto space. But we are for sure going to be hitting these portfolios up in my traditional finance portfolio because we're seeing results over there as well. And not going to lie, I'm really happy about what we've got going on in that portfolio space. Feeling good about it. But yeah, we bought Osmosis. That's basically what we've done. I've got to go back through and see what I have in my Kelper wallet that's over one whole coin, because I'm pretty sure that we're going to be having at least another ATOM. Like at this point, we're just reinvesting everything. Like we're not kicking out enough to really do a legitimate solidified cash out. So we're reinvesting right now. We're stacking through the bull, especially at these prices. Like Thorwallet Dex is back down to 2 cents. It dropped under 3. It's right at 3. We're seeing some ugliness in these markets. And realistically, like this is a time to buy. It kind of makes me mad. I've already drained our cash reserves, which we're going to have to build back up on the upswing. But like, man, this is rough. Like this is that Osmosis position. It's gotten so low that I'm like, I got to buy this to get these down as much as possible. Cause like when you start, cause normally I'll start buying in at 20 to 30% of a reduction. We hit, I think when I bought over the weekend, we were down at like 47%. So like even a couple of $100, it's dragging that initial investment down, which is good. Like I like that because I don't think that Osmosis is going away. It's been around a very long time and I've seen it lower than this. It just, when you start seeing red numbers and it's deep red, it hurts. At present, the portfolio, we are literally gripping on to staying in the positive. We're up 2%, which, as you know, when we started off the year, we were talking trash. Portfolio was up 30+%. We are no longer beating the S&P 500 during this window. And you got to take those L's during that window because it's just math. It's like right now, technically speaking, if I was just chasing alpha and not looking long and I was day trading, I'd say in this window, I'm going to cash all this out and I'm going to put it somewhere else. I'll put it in the S&P 500 because the S&P 500 is doing better for this few weeks. But we're not investing for a few weeks. I do not have my rent money in crypto. I do not have my mortgage money in crypto. I do not have my life savings is in crypto. The majority of my net worth is in crypto. But I'm looking at 5, 10 plus year windows. I don't care about a few weeks of bad performance in comparison to, you could have had it sitting here. It's like, yeah, well, the last 15 years, I'm covered for the time that it's underperforming because I'm still over the 15-year window. If you scroll out and look at the portfolio performance as a whole, I'm winning. I'm winning still. It's just right now, you got to go through the hard times. And if you can't weather the storm, you don't deserve the spring. Like you don't deserve it when the sun comes out. And we gotta keep that in mind. We gotta remember why you're here, what the thesis is, where you're sitting on position. Because I still have positions that are beating the S&P 500, just the portfolio as a whole. Because we diversified. We're throwing some gambles out here. It's not my longs, all of it. So you gotta take the bad with the good. It's a volatile market. There's going to be weeks, there's going to be months where you're not going to perform as well as some other thing. But over the long haul, this has outstandingly outperformed on every metric. every other investment I could have possibly have been in. I would not be in the position that I'm in had I not been invested in this market specifically. The opportunities that it provides are grand for those with a long-term view. People think it's grand for those with the short-term view, but like the people with the short-term view generally come in here and lose money. So we're just going to leave that at that. Now, for the end part of the video, we're going to jump over into the news for this week. I'll give you my 2 cents on the news. Near partners with Neat Protocol to accelerate AI growth. That's the overarching deal here. Near is joining the AI narrative. Now, is it a play for the coin? We'll see. We'll see what's going on with that. Might need to look in Neat Protocol, but that's 2 more plays with the AI narrative. We are currently with Akash as far as that goes, and it's been performing well. Obviously, it also took a hit, but we're still up on that position because we bought the last dip. We bought the last dip heavy, dragged that price down. When it swung back up, we were good. We're still good. Perks of buying the dips, because not everything dips exactly the same. Some coins get punched harder than others. But this is the Crypto Portfolio Roundup brought to you by Delta Investment Tracker app, powered by eToro. The next point that they've got, Bitcoin ETF products see net inflows approximately 1.82 billion. Crazy that the price is going down when we're just getting more and more good news. Every time I look at the board, it's like, hey, like we've got great news, got some more good news, got some more good news. Bitcoin's being bought up more than what's being produced every day. There's going to be a supply crunch. We're going to be seeing it soon. Yet the price somehow keeps slamming down with no news of massive sell-offs. That's the thing that's missing this year, because every other time, every other bull run, it was under. I believe that it was price manipulation, but at least you knew, like, hey, somebody dumped some Bitcoin. We're not getting massive sell-off news. We are literally only getting buying news in massive quantities by institutions and companies and businesses. MicroStrategy just recently announced that they're getting ready to get another $500,000 in debt to buy more Bitcoin. But Dave Ramsey keeps telling you that you can't use debt to buy stuff. Well, it seems to have worked out well for that company. It also seems to have worked out well for Dave Ramsey and his investment plays. But if everyone's buying and we're not having massive sell-offs, then how does price go down? That's the only thing I need to understand, because that doesn't meet first principles of supply and demand. It just keeps going away, and somehow the price just keeps going down. So, like, with no news about, hey, MicroStrategy sold all their Bitcoin, so-and-so sold all their Bitcoin. All we hear in every one of these dips, we hear about all these companies that buying millions, 500,000, billion, 500 million, just raising all the money that they can get to buy Bitcoin. And there's never so-and-so sold off and so-and-so bought it. It's just, so the only way that this can work is if retail is selling off, which I could see. People want to buy stuff. They want to get that car to flex. They want to have the fun time. I'm like, I would literally sell anything else. I might sell my house before I sold Bitcoin, to be honest, just because of where it's going. Like, I don't see that being a bad place. I can get another house. I'm not getting priced out of houses. People are rapidly getting priced out of Bitcoin, which is also technically impossible because you can buy fractional pieces of Bitcoin. So you're never actually priced out. You're just priced out from getting a whole one anytime soon. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I mean, I think that'd probably be the best thing for everyone, is if they had over a Bitcoin, as many people as possible, because there aren't enough Bitcoin to go around. But scarce asset, probably good to have a whole one. Just saying. Uniswap Foundation postpones government's proposal. There was so much going back and forth with this. Not surprising. They've got stuff to sort out. Considering Uniswap also got punched really hard and the gut is on the ground, I've been considering scooping up some Uniswap myself. Haven't pulled the trigger on that yet because every time I'm like, hey, next inflow, we're going to get some Uniswap, the market goes down, and then I got to buy other positions that I actually am a little bit more informed about, a lot more comfortable with, that are doing things that I definitely am liking what it's doing on the back end. And, we got to get those first. Deutsche Bank and Bitpanda partner for real-time crypto payments. Adoption, probably nothing but adoption. Everybody wants to talk about where the ball's going, where it's not going. Things are a changing, whether we like it or not. And the more you see about these very large financial institutions adopting and utilizing crypto, the more you got to kind of perk your ears up and be like, oh, this is where we're at. Polkadot introduces one frequency. Now, I don't know what one frequency is. We're going to have to look it up. I will have the link, obviously, in the news/resource section of the video down below for you guys to check out. I don't know what that's going to do, but I do know that it's something, and good for them. Like, you got to do something, especially during these consolidation periods. It's good that people are getting their chains out into the conversation. That's important. Telegram introduces digital mini app payment system. Telegram stars. Telegram making moves, man. If you haven't tried out Telegram, I mean, you gotta get in there. There's some alpha to be had. I don't like Telegram as much as Discord, because Discord gives you the ability to make rooms so that you can mediate the conversation. But Telegram's integration into crypto has definitely been a game changer for them. So I do like that, and I hope Discord follows suit. XRP partnered with Clear Junction for GBP, which is the British pound, and the euro for payouts. XRP still doing work overseas, still active, still an active project. I mean, they're doing a bunch of stuff in the business world. They are the banker's coin. They are staying within their niche. Whenever I hear stuff about them trying to get NFTs and trying to actually compete with Ethereum, I'm like, that is so stupid. Why? Why bother? Your existence is solidified in your ability to facilitate them cross-border payments. The people that are involved with XRP that want it to be Ethereum, there's no need for it. There really isn't. And if it was going to be Ethereum, then they would not have built a bridge and try to connect to Ethereum to get that to work, because that's the only way they're going to get anything going on their ecosystem, just like every other coin that wants to be Ethereum. That said, what they are doing will be great for the coin, will be great for the holders, hopefully. Definitely great for the business. I'm definitely waiting for them to go public so that they can. I want to position in XRP, the business. I would much rather have that than the token. I'd rather have the asset as in that case, because they are doing a lot of work with institutions abroad, even though the United States kind of poo-pooed on what they were trying to do. They still did it anyways with everyone else, and the United States will be late to the party. We're becoming very backwoods. Kind of sucks. But that's all the news blurps for today. I will tap this into the resource and news section for those of you to do your own research. As I said before, this industry is going nowhere. Bitcoin is going nowhere. It's going to go up in value. There's no way it can't, because everyone's using it and there isn't enough to go around. That's the narrative. That's the play that I'm making. My portfolio, my traditional portfolio, whenever Bitcoin goes down, it gets beat up too. But you know what else to do? It pays. So I'm not over there to try to protect the price of the ETFs that I got involved with. I'm over there to generate income. And as long as that income generation is what it needs to be, we're good. I don't believe that Bitcoin's going in. I just don't. My narrative, I'm full bore. I see countries using it. I see states using it. Deutsche Bank, everything's coming into the space. You hear about these major banks that are accumulating Bitcoin. these institutions that are accumulating Bitcoin, the performance of the Bitcoin ETFs, which is people accumulating Bitcoin via middlemen, which I'm not an advocate for it, but you know what? More power to them. It's better to have middleman Bitcoin than no Bitcoin at all, in my opinion. It's going to help your portfolio. And yeah, we're just, there's just so much going on, and I'm not negative about the news of it. I don't really tap in with the FUD. It's just there are certain days at this point though where I just don't look at my portfolios that much, because the majority of my portfolio just gets beat up. Fortunately, my long-term portfolio on the traditional side, when Bitcoin's getting beat up, that portfolio stays green. I got some runners in there right now, and we're going to talk about that over on Future Financial Strategy. So be looking out for the next portfolio update, because that's going to have a whole segment in it. But you just got to nose to the gridiron. You got to work. You got to have a focus of building an asset base, building an income stream out of those assets, and then using the income stream to buy stuff, and not necessarily selling off the asset to buy stuff. It's just there has to be that pivot. The people who are just diehard consumers with the way that things are going, it's not going to go well for you. It's not. It's not going to be something where it's just going to be all cute and we're just going to do this and it's just going to be a thing. It's like, it's not. It's going to be very bad for people. But it doesn't have to be very bad for you. So if this is your first time over here and you like the content, definitely give it a like. Share it with your circle. We're not trying to, there's plenty of room in the wolf pack. We're not trying to get rich over here by ourselves. Also, subscribe and turn the bell notification on. I'm not one of those people who just dumps content all the time. It's a few times a week. And if I post something, it's something that you should probably see. I'm not just posting to post. I'm not flooding your notifications. Just giving you the episodes. You get the game when the game comes out. You can tap in for a little bit. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought. We'll have the conversation down there. For actual questions, if you want a question answered live during one of the shows or during the live stream, once we bring those back, shoot me an email, also tied to the profile. You can also tap in with me on any of my socials that are linked to the YouTube profile. Instagram is probably the best because I check that more often. And we're going to have some fun stuff coming up. We're getting ready to do some upgrades around here. Obviously, hopefully you guys are noticing the little bit of upgrades that we're doing. We got some live background screens. We upgraded that. We're trying to be more consistent and broadcast it out. Now that we come back from this injury, whole new perspective. We're dialed in, not necessarily trying to live here, but we are going to do better at documenting the journey as it goes. Until next week, it's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates, and peace.
Money moves, gotta hustle, gotta grind. In this game, no room for the blind. Crypto's the wave, the key to the grind. Transfer that wealth, this time to climb. Blockchain buzzing, time to make a move. Invest in the future, can't afford to lose. Learn the game, gotta play it right. On the right side, we take it flight. Punch the clock, working hard day and night. Gotta stay focused, keep that mind tight. Crypto, wealth transfer, we want it all. Rise to the top, never hit a wall.